All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this session where we're going to talk about BigQuery, but not only just BigQuery, we're going to talk about many of the Google Analytics tools out there and show how they all blend together to create solutions. So good morning, good evening, everyone. My name is Danny Richard. I am a senior consultant at MavenWave. I've been here since June of 2020. And I really like to work in databases and data viz tools. For the agenda today, we're going to walk through two solutions that make use of the following data pipelines. We'll first start off with a simple form solution, the same form that you all filled out to accept this invitation. And we're going to show how that data transpires from Google Forms into Google Sheets, then into Google BigQuery, and then we're going to visualize that data using two Google tools, Data Studio and Looker. That will take up most of the session. And at the end, I'll walk through a solution that was built very recently uh, with the analytics skills profile, which was something that I think most of you on this call filled out. And I'll show you how that solution was stood up. So to start, we'll talk about how we're going to move a Google Form survey into Google Sheets. It's very simple. I'm going to show you in my internet browser. So this is the Google Forms that was created for this session. It just had one simple question. Let us know if you're going to attend the session, yes or no, and then you enter your email. Here are the responses for the meeting. We got 20 yeses, and all the no's have been created by myself in test instances. To move this data into Sheets,
Danny, sorry to interrupt you. Are you sharing your screen?
yes, did it go away? Or
Yeah.
my apologies. Have you guys been able to see the screen at all? Probably not. Let me work backwards. Thank you for reminding me. But just for the agenda today, we're going to show how data moves from forms to Sheets to BigQuery to Data Studio and Looker. And we're going to show it in two solutions. And right now, I'm just going to show you how the data moves from Google Forms to Google Sheets. So this is the Google Forms that we created. It has one question, and then the user enters their email. Here are the results of the survey question. And to see this data in Sheets, you just click this Sheets button right here, and that shows the survey data in table format. Next, we're going to take that data from Google Sheets and move it into BigQuery. Also, let me point out that this will be a completely live connection all the way from Google Forms to the Data Viz tools. So as soon as you make a change or add an additional entry into Google Forms, it will transpire through the data pipeline and into the Data Viz tools. Now to show you how to create, to move the sheets form into BigQuery, I'll show you how to do that. But right now, let me just show you the GCP environment that we have up right now. First off, we are in the Data and Analytics Sandbox project. This is a project that most of you probably want to know about. This is where we create all these internal small demonstration projects at Maven Wave. I use it all the time, whenever I need to stand something up quick, such as this example right here. This is the project that I work in. We're in BigQuery. I've created a data set called Google Forms, and this is where I'm storing all the data to import the Google Sheets data into into BigQuery. You just click on the data set and then you click Create Table. And then this prompt is coming up and it'll ask you uh, where to create it from. You put in the drive and then it asks you to enter the URL. So I copy and paste the Google spreadsheet URL into here. Tell them that it's a Google sheet. Give it a name. Let it auto detect the schema so it figures out the data types. And then scroll over to advanced options. We want to skip the first row since the first row is headers. And that's all you need to do. So this will create a new table called Google Forms Example 6. And I'm going to query the table just to show you what it looks like in its raw form. So it's got a timestamp field, a true false field, and then an email field. The field names are not coming out in a clean way, and we will take care of that. So now I'm going to show you just some work that gets done in BigQuery. Um, in my opinion, um, before you start working with data in a data viz tool, you want to work with it inside of a database such as BigQuery to clean it, to enrich it, to transform it. There's all sorts of things that you can do to the data before you put it in the data viz tool. And this is what I chose to do to the data to clean it up. I renamed the field names to something clean. Um, I added an indicator to whether they're attending that's more descriptive with the types attending and not attending. And I turned the timestamp into a date time, a date, and a time field. I also got rid of any duplicate emails if there were ever the scenario where the same email had multiple entries. I'm grabbing the one with the latest timestamp. And as I query this table, we'll show you what the clean version of this table looks like. Very simple, but goes to show that there's always scenarios for data cleaning. And that's what this table looks like now. So just as you can see on the slide, here's a before and after of the table. Here's the query on the left that does the data transformation. Now we're going to take this data into Google Data Studio. So Google Data Studio is basically Google's out-of-the-box data visualization tool. For most clients, Data Studio, it comes with the suite of Google G Suite products that come up. I've used it quite a lot. It's definitely good just to stand up a dashboard very quickly for a client without using Looker or an enterprise tool, because you don't know what tool that what they have. If using Data Studio, you're giving the client something without forcing a cost to say, hey, well, you need to get this data viz tool. For the most part, they're already going to have Data Studio, so it's a quick solution for a client. So this is the front page of Data Studio, and to create a blank report is very easy. You just click on this plus button, and what comes up right away is the connection. You connect to your data. So in this scenario, we're going to select BigQuery, and then we'll find our project. So we're in the Analytics Sandbox project. Let's go down, find the Google Forms data set, and then let's select Google Forms example out. And moving data into Data Studio is that simple. It's just exactly what I did. And now to the right, you see all of the fields that we have to select, and we have a dashboard template. So this is where we would make a dashboard. Now, one thing I want to point out, uh, for the sake of making this a live data pipeline, we need to create a service account in GCP, um, so that the data so that the data viz tool can connect to Sheets automatically. So um, in GCP, if you go to IAM and admin, and then go into service accounts, um, we'll find we find that I already created a service account for Google Forms. To create a new one, it would be as simple as create service account, give it a name, give it roles. The roles that you want to typically give it are BigQuery, um, BigQuery, come on, BigQuery data editor, and BigQuery job user. And it's simple as that. So once you got the service account created, you want to go into your sheets and make sure that the service account is added to the people that can share the sheets. As you can see, I got two Google service accounts, one for Data Studio, another one for Looker. This allows for the liveness to take place across the data pipeline. So this is just a quick dashboard that I made in Data Studio off of that Google Forms data. We got 22 entries, 19 people attended, and 3 people did not attend. And here's the attendee list on your left, and is the decline list on the right. And then here is acceptance by date. Now let's test the liveness of this dashboard by adding a new entry into the Google Forms. I'll do that right now. Let's select no, give it an email. So if I submit that and now I go into Data Studio, If I refresh data, we see that fourth entry entered, proving that the data pipeline is fully live without any ETL. And here is that added email. So that's a run through of the first part of the data pipeline, taking the data into Data Studio and showing how that looks. For a more uh, enterprise way of going about this, we're now going to walk through how to connect this data into Looker, which is um, Google's premier data visualization tool. Very powerful tool. Um, it's a complete um, cloud-based data visualization tool, similar to Amazon QuickSight. It's really going to pick up a lot of steam in the market. It competes with Tableau and Power BI. Here at Maven Wave, since we're a proud Google partner, um, we get a lot of Looker projects, and for all of you guys, we certainly want to create a center of excellence around Looker and to get you guys up to speed in Looker, get you LookML certified, and be able to deliver Looker solutions to our upcoming clients. So step one is to set up a connection between Looker and your BigQuery data set, and I'll show you how that works out. So let's go to Looker. This is the Looker platform. Um, step one in connecting to data in Looker is to create a connection between your database and Looker. So I am in let me show you how I navigate here, but I am in Looker right now. If I go into admin, go into connections, I can add a connection. This is where we give it a name. Tell it's BigQuery. So find BigQuery standard SQL. Um, the project ID would be the name of the project. The data set ID would be the name of the data set, Google Forms. This is the tricky part for setting up a connection. You got to get the service account email and uh, the service account file. I mentioned earlier that we got to create a service account inside GCP. Um, with that service account, after you make it and you click on it, you can go over to keys and add keys, and what that will create for you is a file, a JSON file that is what you enter in here. So let's find that file. Google Forms example service key right there. Let me find that file and open it. Within this file, it's a JSON file. The client email is what you enter in the first parameter. I do that right there. And that's all you got to do to set up a connection. You click add connection. And then you want to test it just to make sure that it's right. It looks like something went wrong, um, but I don't want to take more time out. I'll just test the one that I already created before this session. So that's step one of working in Looker, is create a connection to your data set. Now we will create a project in Looker off of this connection, and that will be the next step. And that involves going into the LookML projects section of Looker, selecting new project. Looks like I got to be in development mode. Give the project a name. Starting point, generate model from database schema. Select your connection. We'll do Google Forms example. What table do you want to build views from? We would want the Google Forms example out. And that's it. So let's create this project and show you what happens. So this is the LookML that gets auto-generated as soon as you create a project. One thing that you just need to do as soon as you stand up a project is configure Git. And that's very simple to do. You click on this configure Git button. Um, Git is a way to control the development of inside Looker. There's GitHub, there's GitLab, there's Bitbucket, also, many other tools that Looker integrates with. And it walks you through steps to connect to Git. Um, it's a matter of um, going into GitHub, creating a new repository, giving it a name. Um, Let me go to my slideshow. I'm not going to do the whole solution, but I have a step-by-step print screen of all the steps that go into configuring Git for any new project. It's really a back and forth between Looker and your Git service, and it's a step-by-step. It tells you what to do. That's a necessary step whenever you stand up a new project in Looker. After we've configured Git, there is some small cleanups that need to take place inside the project LookML. One thing that's most important is to always define the primary key for every single view in the table. Um, Also in the LookML, you want, before, as soon as a project gets stood up for you, there's LookML already created, and that's what you see here. It turns every single field in the table into a dimension, and that's what you get right here. But there is some small things that you need to do, such as defining the primary key of the table, and that's used with this primary key statement. And then also defining your measures. I define three: the entry count, the attending count, and the not attending count. That's really all I did for the LookML. Next step, once you define all the LookML that you need, you go into the Explore pane, and this is what shows the data. More like it reminds me of Excel when you're working with pivot tables. To the left, you got the data model that you get to work with, and then it's just drag and drop, or it's click the elements of the data that you want to include in your visualization. So in this scenario, we got the rows as the date. We got a pivot on the attending indicator, and then we just got the count of entries as the metric. Once you build the underlying table of the visualization, Then you build the visualization in the next step, and that's what I do right here. This is a overtime count of the entries, and green is a yes, and red is a no for not attending. Now, what's really cool about Looker is that it's a 100% in database technology, and really what that means is behind the scenes, Looker is generating SQL to your database. Data never moves outside of your database. There is no ETL between uh, BigQuery and Looker. The data really never leaves. What Looker does is it just generates SQL statements on the fly that it requests against your database, and then your database simply just sends the results of the queries of the underlying visualization, as you can see here in this SQL. And once you got a visualization that you want to add to a dashboard, that's very simple. You just click on the gear icon and then you click save, and you save to an existing dashboard, and then you find your dashboard. So in this scenario, um, I'm not going to save it, but at the end of the day, this is the final dashboard in Looker off of this Google Forms data. And, this is your end result of inside Looker. Now, another cool thing is, emailing reports inside Looker, and that's really simple. It's just a matter of clicking on these three gears, going to schedule delivery. And let's say I wanted to email this to myself right now. It's this simple. This screen pops up, tell it to send now. It already has your email, and you can send an email to yourself of it in PDF form as such. And then this is what the report comes out inside of from your email. So now I'm going to walk you through a more involved example. We're going to quickly walk you through it, but we're going to talk about the analytics skill profile. This was a very long survey that most of us completed. If you were on the analytics team, meant to figure out, what you're good at, what skill sets are you good at, what do you need improvement on, so that um, our superiors are able to align us up with projects that match our skill sets. That's really the objective of it. Here's a data flow diagram of the solution. The data started out in Google Forms. It quickly transpires into Google Sheets, and then we take it into BigQuery and we do a little bit of data transformation. Uh, we clean the table, and then we add all all the descriptors to the table to create a very, very wide survey table. And then we transform that wide table into three other type or data shapes. One being a very long table, another being a certification table, and a comments table. Then we take our data model that we built in BigQuery, and then we model it inside of Looker, and that's what we show on the bottom left. Just a simple data model that connects all the data, and then at the end of this, for the end as a solution, I decided to make what would you call this? It's a visualization that it's not just one page. It's got 5 pages with a front page and then sub dashboards. And the idea is um, you start on the front page and then you navigate to the sub dashboards and you go back and forth. It really makes a nice exploration tool. but let me walk you through this solution right now. So let's start off. We don't need to show you what happened in Google Forms and Sheets. We'll just start off with what takes place in BigQuery. So this is all the work that takes place in BigQuery. Here's the contents of all that happens. Um, Let me show you what the raw data looks like. So this is a very, very long table. It's got all our survey responses to the analytics survey. As you can see, the field names are coming out as just random values, but this is what the data comes out as. Step one is cleaning that table, and that's what I do in the next step. I give all of the fields friendly names, as you can see here, and then I just do small cleaning as necessary, as you can see right here. And now the data comes out rather clean. It's still the same data that is the raw form, but now it's just got clean field names and data cleaning taking place inside of it. Now I'm going to add all of the descriptor values to all the numerical entries. So this is a Likert scale survey response. The values are either 1 or 0 through 5, and it bases your familiarity and your interest on all sorts of data visualization tools. It's a long string of code that I produced inside of BigQuery. But now after that is said and done, now you see that the the descriptor values are now added um, after every single numerical value of the entry. So I call this data the wide table because it is extremely wide. It's got one row per email, and then it's got every single survey response, everything that you want to know about the survey in one row of data. Now, this data could be shaped a lot better for a data visualization tool if we transposed the values so that all of the familiarity values show up in one field and all of the interest values show up in one field. That's what I do in this next step. I transpose the data to shape it so that it's, instead of being a very wide table, it turns into a very long table. Let me show you what that looks like. So now it's only got a few, it has very few fields now in the table, but many, many rows. That's why I call it the long table. For every single it's got, for every single email, it's got a section and a category row, and then it's got your familiarity value and your interest value. So this is a long table. Um, Next is a certification table. Um, so in the survey data, we have like 8 rows, eight fields for all the certifications that you could have completed. I did some cleaning to turn this into another long table. I also made sure that we all entered a certification. We don't know the exact name of the certification. We just all did our best job, but I ended up mapping all certifications to a common descriptor so that we can see all of the certifications that have been completed in aggregate. Let me show you what that looks like. So here's our certification table. It's got your email and then every certification that you completed represented as a row. Um, and then lastly is a comments table. That's going to have every single comment that you entered into your survey. And that's what this looks like, your email, and then it's got um, a row for section, and then it's got your familiarity comment, your interest comment, and your other comment. And that's really all the work that took place inside of BigQuery. I go back to my slideshow. Here's a rundown of the data lineage. Um, well, the first to show you, here's all the chain of tables inside of the analytics skill profile data set. And here's just how all the tables link together in order. The black one starts off as our raw data. Then I show you that I cleaned it. Then I created a super wide table. And then I turned it into three other tables, a long table, a certification table, and a comments table. In blue out here, these are our final tables that are going to be piped into Looker. To the bottom is the data model that I'm going to build inside of Looker. I'm calling it a reverse star schema model, and that the middle table is going to be the fact table, the base table, the first table that gets joined in, and that's going to be our very wide table. And then I'm going to join in all of the other tables just by employee ID to create this data model. And then to your right is the Explore inside Looker, showing the drop down of all the fields that can be selected. Um, each of the headers is a table that gets linked together. So let's show you what is going on in Looker. Um, to the left right here, this is kind of how the data gets patched together in Looker. This is the Explore definition. This is built in a model file inside Looker. This is kind of how the reverse star schema is coded out. It starts with a base table, and as you can see in the from statement, that's the wide table, and then there's a join parameter for every single table that gets joined in, and all the joins are rather simple, just to join on employee ID. And then also some more LookML that I added. I added an HTML reference, and that's going to give linking capabilities between these dashboards. I'll show you that very soon. I also added some color coordination so that each interest and familiar value shows up as a distinct color. And just to talk about, the model of the visualization, the way that this is formulated, it's got a front page, and that's what you see in the middle. And on the front page, it's got four sections. It's got a section, a category section, an employee section, and a certification section. Each section has its own sub dashboard, and that's what you see on all the four other dashboards that you see. And the idea is you can click within into a specific section in the front dashboard, and it will take you to a sub dashboard with that value that you selected already filtered into the visualization. Let me show you what that looks like. So here's the analytics. Here's the dashboard, and this is the front page of the analytics skills profile dashboard. And here's section 1. It's showing all of the sections within the form that we filled out. The first one being data visualization, and then scripting, cloud tools, and then it's got the count of how many people answered in each section, both familiarity and interest. The same trend goes for category. These are all the different tools that you were asked about, whether you were good at it or not. And then we got every employee down here showing what they answered for familiarity and interest. Here's a heat map based on employees. And then here is a certification section showing all of the certifications. And the grand idea of this tool is, every single attribute value is a link. So if I click on my name right here, it now takes me to a sub dashboard with my name already filtered. And now we're looking at basically everything that was answered by me in the analytics skills profile. So to the left right here, we got every single question that was asked, every category of a tool, and then it's showing my familiarity and my interest to that question. It also has to the right all the certifications that I've completed, and all of the comments that I answered, and just an overview of my average familiarity and interest score for each section. And this I like this dashboard a lot because this design really makes it a user active tool with all of the hyperlinking. It really turns itself into a data exploration tool where you can navigate throughout the dashboard to go to certain sections. So right now I just clicked on the certification section. I'm looking at the Google Cloud Associate Engineer certification. And to the left right here are all the people that have completed that survey or certification. And, I can always go back to the front dashboard by clicking this front page. If I want to, see what's going on for a certain section, I can do that by clicking the data visualization. Now we're seeing, information by section. If I want to look at category, I can just click into a category. I click on Power BI. Here's all the, survey information based on Power BI. If we want to know who has a really high familiarity in Power BI, this table right here shows everybody. So anyway, I wanted to show you guys this solution. I think what makes this solution special is that it really can be done for any type of data set that you receive. If you ask yourself the question, what are the major dimensions that you want to report on? So in my instance, I said I wanted to the major dimensions were section, category, employee, and certification. Well, with those being the key dimensions that I want to report on, I can make a section for each of those dimensions, as I do in the front page, and then I make a side dashboard for each section as well, and that creates this navigation type dashboard where I'm really trying to show everything by everything. And I don't mean that lightly. I'm really trying to show, I don't, when it comes to any new table that I receive, um, I think step one is let's explore all of the data, all that's inside it. So this is like a model to potentially show everything by everything. And I've done this before with a few other solutions. I just think about, okay, what are the key granularities that I want to talk about? I will make a section in the front page for each of those key granularities, and then I'm going to make a hyperlink and create a sub dashboard for every single key granularity, and that's what creates a data exploration slash navigation dashboard as such. So I hope you guys like this. I hope this demo has given you guys some confidence with the Google suite of tools. I know when it comes to learning new solutions, um, sometimes what I just need is a little nudge into the tool just to really see it in action. And I really hope that this presentation kind of gave you that nudge to really think that working inside of the Google Analytics tools isn't so difficult. I certainly want each and all of you to get comfortable with Data Studio and Looker, and not to forget how powerful that BigQuery is. Um, the moral of the story is BigQuery is a database, and a database is a database. I think of every database as being all the same. They all run SQL, and technology these days is all built around databases. And a database has been around for 30 years. So it's really the concrete, solution inside analytics. And once you get your hands comfortable with one database, you should be confident in most of them, because a database is a database. They all work off SQL for the most part. So with all that said, I hope you've gained a good understanding of how to work out solutions, using a database such as BigQuery, and then data visualization tools. So, are there any questions?
Danny, I have a question. Jyoti here. So how do we get access to the tools to just explore ourselves? Is it
Um,
available for everybody with Maven Wave ID or?
yeah, I think it is available, you know, with Maven Wave, since you guys are inherently a part of G Suite. Um, so, um, what tool are you specifically asking about? BigQuery, you guys should have access to already. You guys should already have an account. It's just a matter of getting you guys set up, and the perfect project to be set up in is the project that I was working with, and which is the analytics sandbox project. That's where you can build out any solution that you want just to learn the tool yourself. And then Data Studio, you should already have an account for that. That's all kind of given to you. And then Looker, I would have to set you up with an account, and I can do that for all of you guys after this meeting. But I hope that answered your question. I think you guys should already have access to BigQuery and Data Studio, and I can get everyone access to Looker.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, Danny, can you mention how can we access, suppose, the Google BigQuery in the visual space that you have created? Can you just send the link? How can we access Google BigQuery, the sandbox environment?
Yeah, I can send you guys the link to that. Let me do that right now. I'll send that in the chat. So I think what that, with that link that I just sent you, that will get you connected already to the sandbox. Um, but you would have to open up the program, and that would be a matter of going into your saved queries, project queries, and then here's all the data, all the programs that are saved, and the one that I called is Google Forms example. You're more than welcome to dive into it and take a look at what's going on. I'm not sure whether you guys are set up inside of this GCP project or not, but I certainly want all of you guys to be in this project because this is kind of our beehive where, you know, demo and learning work gets done. But, you know, if you guys get stuck, as you know, I can send you links to all these tools, and I hope you guys can, you know, play around with it just to learn the tools. And if you guys get stuck anywhere, just please reach out to me, and we'll make sure that you have the appropriate access to what you need. Well, all right, we can conclude this session. I really hope you guys got some out of this, you know, just seeing the Google suite of analytics tools in action. And, you know, I really want you guys to, you know, to flourish inside of the Google suite. It's really, you know, a lot of our project work is inside Google, and it's a really strong suite of tools. There's really nothing too difficult about it. You know, it's like riding a bike. If you guys have learned other tools, you're probably going to learn these tools very swiftly. And I am here to help you along the way. You know, I really, really want you guys to all be comfortable with these tools. That's what, you know, this center of excellence that my manager, Safana, she's in charge of. You know, that's really what this is all about is, you know, growing everybody's skills, you know, creating an environment, you know, in this company where we're all learning off of each other, and we're all becoming the best people we can be. So thank you all. Have a good rest of your day, and I hope to work with you in the future.
Thank you,
Goodbye,
Teddy.
everyone.
Have a nice weekend.
Yep. Thank you. Bye.